Hi guys, this is Victor with Programmatic Academy. We are on course 3, lesson 5, I believe, and we are covering campaign setup. And now we are doing retargeting. All right, let's recap for a moment. For contextual, as you saw in the previous lesson, we went through and chose the prospecting channels, which are basically, our contextual strategies. Okay. Well, we have here search. Search was part of our overall strategy. This course is not about search, so let's delegate that to the search team. But it's important that you understand how a lot of these things work in combination. All right, so now we've landed here on the retargeting part. Okay, so let's continue. As you saw in our prospecting strategy setup, this one is going to be very similar. Okay, now the only thing that changes here is that instead of audience, we select remarketing. Okay, and then obviously give it a name that's relevant and tells you what it is, what this strategy or tactic is about. In this case, retargeting, RTG. You can come up with your own. Strategy type, remarketing, the most important thing right here. Supply type, everything, meaning RTB and private marketplace, so gives us the most amount of inventory available. All right, next up, for goal type, here's what we want to change from CPM reach to CPA. Our CPA, as we mentioned at the campaign level, is $50. So we want to put that here for goal type. We want to keep our optimization on. Okay, so the algorithm knows. Or I'm sorry, this is frequency cap. We want to keep it. We want to let the system do the frequency capping for us. All right, and then daily pacing. Now the pacing is how much we're going to spend here. I always encourage people to put a monetary value and not an impression cap, especially for the retargeting part. Okay. And in frequency, some people have their own, in the frequency cap, some people have their own ideas on what the optimal frequency is for retargeting. All I'm going to tell you is test. There's not a right or wrong answer. Your campaign data will tell you what works best. Okay. Here's a quick point about the loads and the spending. If you have a lot of pixel loads, you can start at even. If not, then you can change to ASAP. This is just a best practice to get that campaign going. All right, so for retargeting, we don't have to worry about supply. Make sure everything is chosen. But the most important part is the My Data tab or the segment tab, depending on whatever platform you're using. But essentially are the pixels. So these are the pixels we have implemented on the site. Again, for this particular strategy of retargeting, we're going to be retargeting the homepage. So people that have visited the homepage and have not converted, we want to retarget them again, which is why in this case we'll select homepage. Okay. Now, before starting, you want to make sure that the pixels you implemented have loads. Okay, this means that they have fired and that there's people visiting that that page and everything is working fine. Ours is a test campaign, which is why you see 0 loads, but this is a very important part. If your pixel and your page is live and it hasn't fired, I would reach out to your ad ops team or your trafficking team and have them, test it. Okay, because without this, your campaign will not consume. in a retargeting campaign. It will not consume if you have no loads. Okay, and then we create, so let's say we create another strategy for every other pixel we have. Okay, we can create one for the landing page, and then, for example, we choose that, and then we can choose to show them a different creative based on that action. Since we know that they already have already visited the landing page, then we can prompt them with something else. Same thing with the checkout page. A very popular retargeting tactic is to show users what was on their checkout page and to encourage them to come back, obviously because we want to confirm. Now the confirmation page works by, we can either exclude it and then that way we don't spend money on people that have already converted, or we can select it as an upsell to something else. This is all going to depend on your product or your service and what your goals are for the campaign. All right, there you go. So this is what I was just talking about. You may want to exclude this, and then you may want to use it for an upsell. Pretty straightforward. All right. If there are any questions, please leave them below. This one was pretty quick. Here's the quiz. Good luck and thank you.